research, publication, and humanitarian work. Research and publication because I specialize in the spread of Islam in Africa. I can say that I have something to say about African history, especially the spread of Islam in Africa. And I felt that what is written about Islam in Africa is written by people who do not belong to the region, who do not understand the socio-economic and cultural development in this country. They write according to what they can perceive. I felt that we need to rewrite an objective count of history of what happened that we can see prevailing today in our society. But this needs a lot of material, a lot of time, a lot of trained scholars that would take time. But I tell you one thing that really prompted my involvement in this medical caravan and medical services. When I was 13 years or 15 years old, my father fell sick. And I remember all the family came. We are about 70 or 10 for male and female. This old man fell sick, lying down on his bed for 2-3 months. And he suddenly died. None of us know exactly what is the nature of his ailment, what is the cause of his death, because there was no doctors, qualified doctors to diagnose. There was no nurse to comfort. There was no drug to be applied to him. He just died. The memory of that death, sudden death, unknown death, remained in my mind. So when I came...
But Professor, I'm not cutting you short, but I would assume that particular incident could have served to perhaps develop your mind along those lines, thinking to become a medical doctor at some point and not an Islamic scholar.
Yeah, but to become a medical doctor, it was too late for me. But I can assure you that this remained in my mind because my first daughter, Fatima Jah, is a medical doctor. It's an American-trained medical doctor. And my third daughter is a biomedical scientist. And the son of my brother, Abu Bakr, is a medical doctor. And we felt that we have enough element in our society that help us to run this medical caravan. The medical caravan is meant to assist or to contribute to the effort of the government, especially the Department of Health, to complement some of the work they are doing in the rural area. But I selected the rural area, that my services go to the rural area. Of course, the situation in which my father died has been improved, but not totally addressed. That's why I felt that we established this medical caravan as a starting point for my service to my country. And then this medical caravan has been working since 2004. And I can happily tell you that we have run not less than 35 trips.
Across the country?
Across the country.
And you provide medical services to people?
Now, what we have a fleet. We have ambulances. We have transport for the doctors and nurses. We have our catering unit. We have our own lab facilities. And we have always acquire enough drugs. Wherever we go, we spend 2 days. Whoever has a complaint will see. We always go with 4 or 5 doctors. I would like to...
And do you provide services free or do you charge them minimally?
All free of charge.
All free of charge.
All free of charge. We don't charge anything.
Professor, you had your degrees at the time, or at least your diplomas. You've attended university at the time when the agitation for independence, the struggle for independence had gained momentum. You had returned to the Gambia, I assume, when really the push for independence was already there on the ground. You are not part of it?
No. No, I've never been a politician. Of course, I was very active in the student union movement in Cairo. I was the Secretary General of the West African Student Union, whereby Egypt championed the cause of liberation movement. And I was very involved in organizing conference, meeting, rallies, but I have never been interested in belonging to a political movement or political party in the Gambia. By the time I came, Gambia was already independent. I came here in 1966. Gambia gained its independence in 1965. And I organized a great celebration for Gambian independence in Cairo. But I have never been a part of any political party, but I will have been consciously involved in explaining, contacting, discussion with all liberation movement in Cairo, because there was a center for all liberation movement in Cairo. I have an office there, but my office was as Secretary General of the West African Student Union. Of course, all occasions I've been invited, and we used to write congratulation letters to the president. That's happened. My involvement in politics was at that level, but I've never been, because I've not been interested in being a politician, because my career as a intellectual and my career as even when I come as a diplomat, that was assignment that given to me by the head of the state. I could not reject it.
When you came in 1966, then we were just independent, 1 year as an independent nation. You had far fewer educated elite in this country. You were one of them. Any offers from the government then?
No. At that time, even an offer would not have been accepted, for one reason. My aspiration was to further my study to the highest level, because when I graduated from Cairo, I wanted to do graduate studies in Cairo itself, but to study something relevant to the socio-economic and history of my country. The material resources to conduct graduate studies on Gambia or on West Africa was very scanty. So I was advised either to go to Paris or to go to England, because this area was colonized by French or British. They have more material on the history of this part. So when I came, I visited all the politicians. I used to go because, first of all, I was interested in knowing what is going on really and what the future holds for my country. So I was acquainted, I was in touch with all of them. No offer was made, and my own idea was to go for further study. Alhamdulillah, when I got it, I went to Canada. I stayed there for 6 years, get my MA and PhD, and come back. All my aspiration was to work within the framework of education. I really wanted to do something in education. But as I told you, when I was told that the government has no place for a PhD at that level, especially PhD in Islamic studies, I just decided to.
Did you Did you feel that perhaps it is your area of specialty?